Hi, this is Diane Lovetobake on YouTube. And what we're going to make are cookie bars. We're making chocolate peanut butter cookie bars. Now, with this peanut butter, you can use crunchy or you can use creamy. It's up to you. I'm going ahead and use creamy. And it's a really quick and easy recipe. So let's get started. First, you want to start off with a half a cup of granulated sugar. Now, you can make this in your a bowl and your hand mixer if you want. I'm using my stand-up because I believe it's a lot faster for the videos. The next thing that you're going to put in is 3/4 of a cup of brown sugar. Now, I no longer put the recipe below the video, so hopefully I'm going slow enough and clearly enough that if you're interested in trying this recipe, you could jot it down, okay? So once again, it bears repeating. A half a cup of granulated sugar, 3/4 of a cup of brown sugar. And now I'm just going to break it up and bring it together, stir it together. The next thing you're going to put in is 1 egg at room temperature. We're also going to be putting in a half a cup of butter. Now, I cut it up into small pieces because I think it's easier to cream and you know, just to blend and that type of thing. So that's a half a cup of butter. And now I'm going to just start to cream those together a little bit. Now once you do that, it's not going to take you but a minute or two, depending on the speed, of course, of your mixer, that's for sure. The next thing you're going to do is to put your peanut butter in. You're going to need a half a cup. And again, you can put creamy, you can put the chunky, and you know, of course, whatever brand that you prefer. And we're going to just bring that together. Oh, and I'm going to warn you about the sound of the mixer. Cream that together. I'm just going to clean the sides up of my mixing bowl where it tends to stick and on the bottom here. But once you cream it together, it'll look like that. I hope that you can see that. All right. Our next thing that we're going to do next is start working on our dry ingredients, okay? Now, this is, I think, a little bit of a healthy alternative. What I'm using is whole wheat pastry flour. Now, if you don't have pastry flour, whole wheat, that is, go ahead and just use your regular whole wheat. They come out delicious either way. I prefer the, well, organic pastry whole wheat flour because I think it's lighter, especially for cakes and cookies and, you know, that type of thing, and biscuits. But again, if you just want to use your regular whole wheat, use 1 cup, okay? The next thing that you're going to do is you're going to put in 1 cup of your oats, of your oatmeal. But I'm going to just start putting in my flour slowly. And now I'm going to start putting in that 1 cup of oats. The next thing that you're going to be putting in is a half a teaspoon of baking soda, a half a teaspoon, and a half a teaspoon of salt. And then we're just going to combine it together. Now, you don't have to mix it for a very long time because it just all comes together. Okay, the next thing, you'll need a 9 by 13 pan. I went ahead and heavily greased it with a solid shortening. Grease it with whatever that you feel you want to use, okay? And I'm just going to take the excess off my paddle and set that aside. And then I'm going to show you what it looks like so far. But again, I'm going to give it a good turn, clean the sides of my mixing bowl, make sure at the bottom everything's been combined. And this is what it's going to look like, okay? Then what you're going to do is you're just really basically going to plop this in your pan and then just start spreading it out. Now you might think, oh geez, it's going to be not enough. I can't spread it out. Just take your time, and you will be able to spread it, and just you know, keep pulling it down. Keep the mixture and keep you know, pulling it down. Work it into the sides of your pan. It's going to puff up when it bakes too. So I actually like to have like a little bit of a ridge, and I'll show you what I'm talking about in just a second. Let me grab a knife here to get the excess off my spatula here, because you really do need every little bit of this to spread it out equally in this 9 by 13 grease pan. Okay, and I'm just going to go back and get all the rest of it, because you know you don't want to waste it. What you're paying for ingredients and the time and the effort that you put into home baking. I don't like to waste anything. Okay, and I'm going to just bring that together. And then, as I said, what I like to do is I actually just sort of go through and give it a little bit of an edge. I'm sort of, in a way, just kind of building it up a little bit. I like it to have like a crust around it. You don't have to do that, of course, but I like to do it. Okay, now you're going to bake these bars at 350 degrees, and they're going to take you anywhere from 17 to 22 minutes. It really depends on your oven. All our ovens, you know, they do set up so differently. So I actually start checking mine about 14 minutes. I start checking mine because I don't want to dry them out. I don't want them to be, you know, I want them to be crisp, but I still want them to be chewy. I don't want them to be hard or dense. So anywhere 17 to 22, 350 degrees. Now, when they do come out of the oven, if you'd like to put a topping on it, what I like to do is I take 6 ounces of whatever flavor you like. These are milk chocolate morsels, and just after it's come out of the oven and it's baked, and then just sprinkle, you know, all the morsels on top, and then just wait, you know, 2 or 3 minutes till they kind of melt down, and then you can take a knife and you can just, you know, coat the top. And you have a, you know, you have a topping, or you can put a buttercream frosting on the top if you prefer to do that. You know, whatever flavor, vanilla or chocolate, that kind of thing. But I just find, like I said, with the 6 ounces of the morsels, the chocolate chip morsels, it makes for a great topping, like a frosting, basically. Now, what I also do, well, I'm going to quickly wash my hands because I was working with raw egg, and I don't want to touch the baked goods. So we'll set that aside. Now, when I mentioned it comes out of the oven, you know, to put those chocolate chips on. And then what I also like to do is to put just some chocolate jimmies on the top, or sprinkles if you want. You don't have to, this is all optional, but it's sort of giving you that extra layer of chocolate. But you can certainly use you know, your colored jimmies, or just leave it off. It's really up to you. And these are still slightly warm because my pan is not hot. As you can see, I can touch it. And I don't know if you noticed, but see how I leave that ridge? I just think it looks really kind of pretty. If you don't like that, you know, just make sure that, you know, you can just, you know, press it down if you don't like that. I think it just looks like a nice frame around these bars. Now, we're going to, you know, cut into it. Now, you can cut them whatever size that, you know, that you want. Okay, and I'm going to get a little spatula. Especially because these are still kind of warm. These are absolutely delicious when they're warm. And what else I like to do is to put a scoop of ice cream or vanilla ice cream when they're warm. Oh, they are so delicious. When you put ice cream on them. Okay, now to talk a little bit about them, they will have a hard top to them, as well as a nice, you know, hard bottom, nice golden brown. I hope you can see that on the bottom. And let me just cut into it. Like I said, this is still warm. And I already have folks in my kitchen waiting with vanilla ice cream, so to try these. When you bite into them, you'll have you know, that sweet taste of the peanut butter and the oatmeal. They're really delicious cookie bars. And like I said, you can wait, of course, till they cool down and serve them, or try them warm, like I said, either alone or with that ice cream. Oh, they are really delicious. So whether you eat them cold or eat them warm, I think you're going to like this recipe if you give it a try. Now, if you try the recipe and you did like it, well, leave a comment. I'd love to hear from you. I will answer you in a timely fashion. I also want to remind you to please solely watch me on YouTube, because if you are going to take the time to write to me, I want to be able to see it and answer it. And I'm not alone on this, but as I mentioned earlier, very quickly, the reason I don't put the recipe below, because so many people post and pin, take my work as theirs. And it's so frustrating to see someone writes a comment or has a question and I can't answer. But if you watch me solely, where the only place I put my videos is YouTube, well, I'd really appreciate it. If you're so inclined and you'd like to subscribe, well, that would be fantastic. Or give the video a like. I can't thank you enough. So I want to thank you for watching Diane Lovetobake on YouTube. Give these cookie bars a try. I think you'd like them, especially if you like chocolate, and if you like peanut butter. I think you're going to like them. So stay well, stay safe, and I'll see you soon.